Our universe is immense, and it would seem that we're not alone. On this top games list today, we're featuring alien-themed games. We start off our list with a game that I personally love. Earth is being invaded by an alien race and the Phoenix Project must repel it. The game offers a race against time in which you either carry out missions, advancing and achieving victories, or fail trying as aliens attempt to take over your world. The game is made by the creators of the Xcom games and contains a lot of content, as well as being quite difficult for lovers of strategy games, requiring you to rack your brain repeatedly in order to see success. Phoenix Point is a pretty lengthy game, with several DLCs that increase its length and complexity even more. If you like strategy games, then Phoenix Point is for you. Highly recommended. Now we'll continue our list with the actual Xcom saga, a series which already has many games, but I would like to highlight two of them. The first game is Xcom 2, very similar to Phoenix Point. And then on the other hand, we have Xcom Chimera Squad, which in my opinion brought a breath of fresh air to the saga, seeing how Xcom made very similar games even though they were high quality. In Chimera Squad, the story focuses on fighting in closed environments, offering a very fun experience that'll keep your eyes peeled and keep you on your toes till the very end. If you've played any of those previous titles but still want more XCOM-style alien games, you do thankfully have several other options. On the one hand, there is the Xenonauts game series, which is a replica of the classic XCOM game series. Xenonauts already has two games in which, similar to Phoenix Point, the world is being invaded and you must protect your own world. The Xenonauts games are quite complex games, but I recommend starting with the second one, as both the content and graphics in the game are much improved compared to its first title. On the other hand, we have this game titled Terra Invicta, which takes the genre to an even greater scale and could even be considered a space simulator. Forewarning though, Terra Invicta is a very complex game. At first it seems like you don't understand a single thing, but little by little everything starts to make sense and your games become super exciting and entertaining despite its complexity. In this game, the fate of humanity will be in your hands and you'll decide whether to cooperate with the aliens or to just destroy them. Now, we're going to shift gears a bit and move on to a really good shooter RPG that you can play alone or with your friends. In this next game titled The Ascent, there are creatures from all over the galaxy and apparently none of them are any friendly. You'll find death around every corner, lots of explosions, and constant shooting. It also has in-depth equipment customization and many missions to partake in, making The Ascent a highly recommended game. Another game series that I can't fail to mention in a list like this has got to be the Gears of War series, which has been popular and successful since its inception. We won't go into great detail on the main Gears of War games, but instead I wanted to highlight its recent title called Gears Tactics, which came out about 3 years ago and was a breath of fresh air for the Gears series in the form of a turn-based strategy game. Gears Tactics maintains the brutality of the series with those bloodthirsty monsters, and I can personally attest to trying the game's higher difficulties, as these difficulties offer a great challenge but will also make every single decision you make that much more intense. Now, let's move on to another classic alien-type game, but a much more calm style of game this time. You probably remember this hit game from many years ago when Willy Rex tried this unique and popular game. Yep, we're talking about that creation simulator titled Spore, an evolutionary simulator that allows you to create your own galactic creature and evolve it over 5 various stages. Your decisions as God will influence its life and survival, creating your own evolutionary sandbox. Spore is a game that I personally highly recommend if you like any type of management simulators at all. Again, continuing with another series that needs no introduction and must appear in a top list like this, we have the Alien series. This franchise has many games and films alike, but I'd like to highlight 3 game titles. First up, Alien Isolation is a survival horror game with constant tension and a very well-developed story. Next in line, Aliens Fireteam Elite is a third-person action survival shooting game that's more oriented towards frenetic cooperative play, offering a large number of xenomorphs and weapon customizations alike. Player a strong immersion of combat being in the Alien universe. Lastly, we have Aliens Dark Descent, a single-player real-time strategy game where we manage a squad in an isometric top-down style game with plenty of horror ambiance and a quite satisfying level of difficulty throughout the game. Another recent game title in the Alien series is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which takes you on a solo shooting game experience where you face hordes of lethal aliens. This game's basically like a bullet hell game similar to that of Vampire Survivors. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor offers several classes, many weapons and artifacts, and is a quite fun game experience. Another alien-themed game that I personally really like is Stranded: Alien Dawn, a survival and colony building title where you're forced to land on an unknown planet. And before you ask, no, this world is not going to be peaceful or easily habitable. You'll need to create your own base, manage resources, and attempt to keep your crew members alive. But beware, because it won't be easy. The world is very, very hostile, and it won't be long before the game greets you with hordes of lethal aliens. Highly recommended. We couldn't end this list either without showing you a game that you probably know about, especially if you're fond of colony simulators. This next game, titled Let Them Come, is a pretty damn fun tower defense game, perfect for passing the time using a little bit of strategy. To put it simply, you're on one side, the aliens are on the other, the hordes are brutal, and you'll have to improve and customize your weaponry to ensure your own survival. Let Them Come has very well-crafted bosses and is a very entertaining adventure while being quite casual. If we see that you guys liked this top list games video, then we'll bring you another video with more Alien-style games.